Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andrew from AR Media. In tonight's video, I want to do a 4K digital review roundup. Now, I've watched a bunch of 4K digital reviews lately, so I just wanted to put them all into one video, so let's get to it. So first up on the list, we got Geostorm. So I watched this on iTunes in 4K Dolby Vision, and let's go over the plot real quick. This is a ridiculous movie, and a very stupid one at that. I mean, do not go into this with any sort of serious expectations. I do not know what they were going for with the movie, but it's about satellites in space that control the weather, and all these disasters are happening. So basically, I recommend the movie if you could just turn your brain off and you're into some disaster porn for a couple of minutes. But besides that, the movie is beyond stupid. Like, I put it in the category of so bad it's good because it was funny, the dialogue. But now let's get to the picture quality. So this is a 2K digital intermediate, digitally shot, and it did look very nice. I did compare the HD version to the 4K version, and there was a nice increase, but this is not one that I would recommend buying. Maybe rent it, if that. Next up on the list, we got Marrow Bone. Now, this is a horror thriller that is currently in theaters and also streaming on Vudu. I rented this one in 4K Dolby Vision with Dolby Atmos as well. And just to go over the movie, if you're a fan of movies like Girl on the Train or Split or thrillers that border on horror, then I think you'll be a fan of this movie. It has a great cast. Anya Taylor-Joy is in it. Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things is in it. And they all give great performances. And really, it's just about a family that it's confined to a house. Their mother passes away, and you just slowly unfold the mystery about the house and the family itself. Definitely recommend the movie. Now let's get to the picture quality and audio quality. And this one I was actually really impressed by. I did compare the HD to the 4K, and there was a nice increase there. I couldn't find out the digital intermediate of this one, but the real standout on this one was the Dolby Atmos track, as it is with most horror. There were a lot of above, inside the house, there'd be things moving above you, on the floor above you, things crawling around, and it had great use of that, as well as great use of surrounds as usual with horror. I highly recommend this one, actually. Next up, we have Six Balloons. Now, this is one I didn't really hear of. It stars Dave Franco, and it's on Netflix. This is just 4K, so this is free, and it is about a struggling heroin addict and his sister, and it's really just one night in the car with them as she's driving around looking for a detox center. But I must say that this movie completely floored me. Dave Franco's performance was amazing, and if you know anybody who has faced addiction, or if you know any families who have dealt with addiction, this movie will definitely hit home. I think this is one of the most realistic portrayals of addiction, and I thought the movie was amazing. I think it's a must-watch. It was only like 75 minutes, I believe, so a little longer than an hour, and a must-watch in my opinion. Just fantastic. To get to the picture quality, this is the Ultra HD 4K, just like all the Netflix uploads are, so there's really no way to compare, but I will say that the 4K presentation looked nice and natural throughout, and the movie is just highly recommended above everything else. Next up, we have Revenge. Now, this one is creating a ton of hype. It's in theaters some places, and it's on video on demand. I watched this on iTunes. So this is not 4K. This is the only one from the list that's not 4K, I promise you guys. But I had it listed on here because although it's HD, the cinematography and the colors used in this and how vibrant it is really pops off the screen on my OLED. This movie looked absolutely fantastic, and I found the movie to be very good as well. The plot is very similar to the classic I Spit on Your Grave, if you're familiar with that, but it's basically about a girl who gets raped in kind of the middle of nowhere and then gets revenge on the people who committed those acts. It's an awesome revenge tale. It was the first flick from this new French female director. I'm not sure of the name, but I was very impressed. But beware going into this, it is extremely bloody and extremely gory, so you gotta be okay with that. But highly recommended, and like I said, HD transfer, but the use of neon lighting, vibrant colors, just really made this a beautiful, beautiful film. And last but not least, we have The Gallows. Now, as a movie, this was pretty disappointing, I have to say. Definitely not one of my favorite found footage horror movies. There really wasn't too much creative about it, and I would say the biggest downfall was that you just hated the cameraman, so the whole time you just wanted him to die, so you really didn't care when, of course, he eventually did. But yeah, the movie I recommend if you're a horror buff. I would say rent it though, do not buy it. But let's get to the picture quality. So the 4K doesn't bring much to the table here because it was supposed to be shot on like a Canon 2.3i DSLR at 1080, but what does really work here is the Dolby Atmos. You will hear overheads of ropes dangling back and forth, even the tension of a rope because the movie revolves around a hanging. All those effects for the Atmos make it kind of worth the rental in my opinion, but the movie itself was disappointing, although I did like the ending. That was about it though. Anyway guys, I hope you like this 4K review wrap up. I just wanted to wrap them all up in one video. I know not everybody's a fan of the digital format, so that's why I figured I'll just do a cluster of these every time I watch a few to give you guys some thoughts on the movies I'm watching and the transfers as well. Anyway guys, let me know down below if there's any digital movies you've seen lately, any movies in general that you've seen lately, and I'll see you in the next one.